Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we are going to be setting up my bullet journal for March 2025. As you can see from my planning page where I plan out my headers, color palette, all that kind of stuff, we're going with a Girl Scout cookies theme, which I'm super excited about. But first, let's take a look at how February is going so far. For February, I did an Aquarius theme because February is my birthday month and I'm an Aquarius, and I really love this recreation from my bullet journal theme from February of 2020. And if you missed this plan with me, I will have it linked in the cards for you to check out. Now let's get into the supplies I used to create my spreads for March. Most of these supplies should come as no surprise to you if you've seen my past Plan With Me videos. I used a few Tombow dual brush pens, my Sakura Pigma Micron fine liners for outlining and numbering, a dot pen from Ohuhu that matched my green in my color palette, and also a washi tape I got from Amazon. And without further ado, let's get into my March cover page. I mentioned in my last couple Plan With Me's that I'll be recreating or taking inspiration from a past theme of mine for every month in 2025, and this Girl Scout cookies theme was inspired by a couple things I've created over the course of my bullet journal journey. I made this pen pal letter back in 2022, which is where I took a majority of the inspiration for this cover page, and I also did a giveaway journal in 2022 where the March theme was Girl Scout cookies. So since I've never had this theme in my own bullet journal, I thought it was about time I'd get to enjoy it for myself. I only doodled two types of cookies, which are my two favorites, Thin Mints and Samoas. But apparently they're called Caramel Delights now, which is good to know because when I order Girl Scout cookies for myself, I won't be confused. Although I don't know why they changed the name to Caramel Delights. I feel like the caramel is not the most prominent feature of the cookie. Shouldn't it be like Coconut Delights or something? I don't know, I'm rambling at this point. I went with a bouncy cursive header style because it's one of my go-tos, so it's quick and easy for me. But I kind of wish I went with the header style for my pen pal card, but it's okay, I don't mind it that much. I did go over the green with black later because I thought the thick bold lines would pop more, but with the cover page complete, it's time to move on to my monthly dashboard over on the left. My dashboard is still the same as the last couple of months in this journal. A couple things may look a little bit different though as we go on, but that's only because I messed up on it. I was supposed to make the top right box look like it was ripped out of a spiral bound notebook like I did in January and February, but I accidentally drew the line straight across, and then when I went to do the same technique on the box below that, I messed up on the lines again. And wait, it gets better. I tried to draw the line again, intending for it to go right over the dashed lines, but it was just a smidge off, so it looked ridiculous. That's when drop shadows came to town and saved the spread, and I'd like to personally thank 2018 and 2019 Amanda Rachel Lee for this inspiration. By the way, these spaces will be for me to write a to-do list, what I want to crochet, what I want to read, and I put a mini March calendar on the far left. My doodles for this spread are a couple Girl Scout cookies at the bottom with the quote that says, "Did someone say cookies?" which I thought was super cute and super fitting, and that is my dashboard spread complete. Let's move over to my monthly calendar spread. For my calendar, I went with a large grid layout where each box is 6 dot grid spaces across and 6 spaces down, which gave me just enough room for me to write events and bills and other notable things going on in my calendar spread from the last couple months, so I decided to carry that same size grid layout into this month. I used my 05 Sakura Pigma Micron fine liner to go over my penciled grid lines, and I'm using that same nib size to outline the cookies that will be all over this spread. And I've been absolutely loving having a full calendar back in my bullet journal. I must say I've really missed it. I only had a vertical monthly log in my dashboard back in 2024, which was fine for what I needed at the time, but this layout gives me so much more space to write in like bills that are due, events and what time they're at, holidays, birthdays, all the things. With the vertical layout, I really only had room to write one thing for each day, but this is enough space to write a couple things without it being obnoxious and like a huge amount of room taken up in my bullet journal. I feel like this is about the size of the calendar I have hanging in my kitchen, so it's a really perfect size for me and also a great way to keep track of what's going on in my life each month. I'm using my dark brown tombow to write the first initial of each day of the week in all 7 columns of this calendar, and this is a new color to my collection, which is called 879. The green tombow is new to me too, which is 277. Michaels had a buy one get one 50% off deal a couple weeks ago, so I snagged these because I knew they'd be perfect for this theme. I used my green Ohuhu dot marker to dot the upper right corner of each grid box, and then I decided to use my number stickers from Hubman and Chub Girl to go over the top of those. And that is my calendar spread complete, so it's time to move over to some trackers for March. On the left page will be my habit tracker, and I'm using these little habit grid stickers that match the layout of my calendar spread perfectly. These were made for me by my sister, who actually made me stickers for each month this year for my habit trackers and weekly spreads. She doesn't sell these, they were just gifted to me, so I unfortunately don't have anywhere to direct you to get these for yourself. And I'm not even sure how she made them, but I'm really grateful to her to be able to use these in my journal instead of drawing them out each month in my setups. I'm doodling some more Girl Scout cookies down at the bottom of the spread to keep this theme going, and now it's time to move over to the right side, which is my gratitude log. For my gratitude log, I'm doing my grid layout that I've done many times in the past, which is a layout originally inspired by Tracy Tyler Revel. My boxes for this spread are 8 dot grid spaces across and 3 down, and I have a total of 31 grid spaces on this page to write one thing I'm grateful for each day this month. I have a little Girl Scout logo down at the bottom corner, and that is this spread complete. We're hopping straight into my anxiety-related spreads now, starting with my stress and health log. For my stress and health log, I have a space at the top to write what I'm stressed about each day, whether it's one thing or a couple things, and at the bottom, it's where I write anything going on health-wise, which doesn't really happen on a normal day, like if I'm sick, when I get my period, headaches, stomach aches, all that kind of stuff. I just like to have a separate space to write these kinds of things when I'm referring to my anxiety tracker, which will be over on the right. My anxiety tracker is directly inspired by the mood tracker I made in my 2022 giveaway journal, which has 31 cookies scattered around the page ready to be colored in based on my key that you will see later at the bottom. Truthfully, I think this spread is a little chaotic. I feel like I usually plan out where elements of my anxiety tracker go so it looks more cohesive on the spread, but you know what? Sometimes this is just reality. Sometimes I don't feel like perfectly aligning things, and sometimes I don't count correctly either, which is why I had to add in another circle at the bottom. And yeah, that was just kind of shoved in. Sometimes your anxiety tracker gives you a little anxiety when you're looking at it, if we're being honest. But after filling in the colors of my key down at the bottom, that is my anxiety-related spreads complete, and we are now moving on to the last spread of my March setup, which is my monthly review. My monthly review is a place for me to sum everything up from the month. So I have a place titled Remembering to write my highlights from March and add in a Polaroid picture of a photo I took this month. And I just print that out on my Instax printer from my phone. At the bottom left, you'll see a section titled Loving, and that's where I'll write everything I love during the month that aren't already in the categories of watching, reading, or listening over on the right. Under my watching header, you'll see 3 TVs where I'll write a movie I loved, show I watched, and a YouTube channel I've been watching a ton of. In my reading section, I have 3 books where I'll write the titles of each book I finished this month and color in a personal star rating of each book. And then at the bottom right, there will be a couple things shoved together, which is an area titled Listening to write a few songs I've loved listening to this month, as well as something I crocheted and also something that I cooked, which I've been getting better at cooking. I still don't like it, but I'm doing a lot more of it within the last couple months. And I'm really, really proud of myself for that. And after adding in some finishing touches like coloring in some things and adding headers to my crochet and cook boxes, that is my March bullet journal setup complete, and it's time to get into the final flip through. We are now entering the final flip through portion of today's video, and I want to encourage you all to comment down below what your theme is for March, and also a green heart emoji if you made it to the end. I appreciate you all so much for watching my videos all the way through. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal social medias. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!